Welcome back. We're talking about the Afghan election, its outcome and the future. With us is Adela Raz. She is a spokesperson for President Hamid Karzai. She joins us from Kabul, and with me here in the studio is Ambassador Omar Samad. He is the former Afghan ambassador to Canada, as well as France. Thanks to both of you for staying with us. Ambassador, let me start with you this time. There was a report in the New York Times recently that there could be what the New York Times referred to as a soft coup in the making, that powerful ministers with ties to the security forces would take over in Afghanistan as some kind of stopgap measure. Is that likely?
It might be an idea in the minds of a few people in Kabul. I don't think that it's very realistic. I don't think that it's practical. I don't think that it would solve any issues. I think it would make it more difficult. And I think that it will be a tipping point if that happens for Afghanistan. It will make it less stable. And if you look at the Afghan people's expectation, they want to see a just and fair resolution to the elections. I don't think that they are looking forward to a soft or hard coup.
Adela Raz, the writer of that report in the New York Times, the journalist, is Matthew Rosenberg, who was asked to leave Afghanistan shortly after that article was published. Why was he expelled?
Well, in terms of the legal reasons and legality of what the state found against him, I'm not going to speak. That's going to be the Attorney General's office. But in terms of, as a government spokesperson, and in terms of the article that he wrote and the consequences that article might have had for Afghanistan, is that it was baseless and it was not accurate, and it didn't even existed in terms of as a conspiracy. So it not even a realistic plan, but nothing even in terms of such an idea even being existed among government officials. And I think that's what the Afghan government felt more concerned towards, something that didn't seem to be realistic, true, and absolutely wrong, being published, and in such a critical and sensitive time while Afghanistan is going through, and it would have had a negative impact in the public opinion, and that's why the state found in the national interest to prevent and take a legal action towards him.
Ambassador, let's get back to the situation concerning the election and its impact. What kind of an impact is this delay in the outcome of the election having on the country's security, and especially on the country's economy? Afghanistan's economy is not in great shape. In fact, there's no growth at the moment.
Yes. As Ms. Raz indicated earlier, the impact is significant, both on the economy and government services. The government itself is almost dysfunctional at this stage because everybody is busy with the elections and the politics involved behind elections. I think that we also, there's a sense of unease about the Taliban being active in about 14 or 15 Afghan provinces at this time. Everybody sees this as the Taliban and their backers inside and outside the country trying to take advantage of this opportunity that has presented itself as a result of the political tension that has existed. And they want to see an end to this. But the Afghan forces, I have to say, have done an amazing job of trying to prevent the Taliban from capturing and holding on to territory. And so a lot of credit goes to the Afghan army, police, and other organizations.
Right. Ms. Raz, when we talk about the security situation in Afghanistan, of course, we have to talk about the U.S. presence, U.S. troops being in the country there. There is a timetable, 10,000 troops right now through the end of this year. That'll be halved by the end of next year. Is Afghanistan going to stick with that timetable? Because the Americans are saying there is a possibility that the troops may remain in the country for longer than that period if the situation warrants it.
I think any decision in terms of the troops, U.S. troops staying in Afghanistan, it's a decision that will be made in coordination with the Afghan government, and that would be involved with our security officials as well. So at this stage, I think I'm not in a position to speak and make a statement, but I can absolutely say that any decision in terms of date being defined for how long and beyond which date it's going to be a decision, mutual decision between the Afghan government as well as the U.S. forces.
Right, Ambassador, let me ask you about that. I mean, Afghanistan is supposed to sign a new security pact with the United States. Is that now on hold?
It's on hold because President Karzai has obviously taken a position on not signing the BSA, the bilateral security agreement with the U.S. That has put on hold as well the NATO agreement with Afghanistan, which means other countries joining the U.S. in a post-2014 Afghanistan. This has had a very negative impact on the economy, on security, on popular psychology overall. Now the two candidates have both pledged to sign this agreement as soon as they come into office, whoever comes into office. I think that people are looking forward to that. Now, if this crisis, this political crisis continues in Afghanistan, one of the victims, one of maybe the BSA, this agreement, if it goes beyond a certain timeline, and I think that this agreement is endangered.
Does it then become a unilateral agreement with the United States doing what it needs to do?
Well, the United States over the last few days has indicated that if the BSA is not signed on time, mostly because of logistical and operational issues of getting the troops and the equipment out, that they will look at other options. So the interest and the desire on the U.S. side is to continue the process of signing this agreement. But the Afghans have to sort out their issues first.
Right. You mentioned NATO. Let me go to Adela Raz and ask her about that. Adela, NATO holds a very important meeting in Wales. That's just coming up in a few days. That's a summit of all NATO countries. Afghanistan will be represented there. Who's going to be representing Afghanistan? What is the message that Afghanistan is going to take to NATO? NATO has had pretty deep involvement in Afghanistan over the last 10 years.
Well, in terms of representation from the Afghan side, I think the position of the current government is pretty clear, and especially President Karzai. He had said it very clearly that he would not participate in the upcoming NATO summit and upcoming NATO meeting. He will not participate, and he hopes and he wants the new president to attend that meeting. It is with no doubt, it's a very important and critical meeting for the Afghan people and as well for the Afghan government. It could be current and as well as the future government as well. So that's why the presence is absolutely important and necessary to be there from the Afghan side. And so the letter which His Excellency President Karzai sent back to the NATO in response to the invitation stated 2 points: that he will not participate because his position in terms of the security agreement with the BSA with the US is still the same, and those conditions have not been met, and until those are not met, he will not sign the BSA. The second part, in terms of who is going to go to the meeting, the statement was that it should be the new president to attend the meeting, and there will be the bottom line. The answer is there would be a representation from the Afghan government side, but not His Excellency the President.
Okay, Ambassador, very briefly, please. We're running out of time. What about the Afghan people in all this? When we look at this process, I mean, don't they need some closure to this? Will they be willing to accept a winner when that winner is announced, or is this process already tainted?
Yeah. No, I think that there's still hope. I think that one needs to be optimistic, cautiously optimistic. I think the Afghan people deserve a fair outcome to this. And I think the Afghan people have demonstrated and proven the fact that they have embraced democracy and that their vote has to count. The clean vote of the Afghan nation has to count.
Ambassador Omar Samad, Adela Raz joining us from Kabul. Thanks to both of you for being with us. And that's it for this edition of The Heat. We'd love to hear from you, so please send us your questions, comments and story ideas to theheat@cctv-america.com. And to continue the conversation, join us on Facebook @CCTV America. I'm Anand Naidu in Washington, D.C. Thanks for being with us.